everybody. This is Anthony Bonaspina, CEO of LI Tech Advisors, with another one of our great LI Tech Talks. And today I have Jolie from Jobs by Jolie to interview, and she's going to tell you a lot about her company and what she does. And I've known her for a bit now, and it's an exciting thing she does. And Jolie, can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, hi, I'm Jolie Leidner, and I own Jobs by Jolie, which is a staffing company. And I am in business for myself for 10 years. 2025 is my 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations. That's
Yes,
something.
I pat myself on the back all the time.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
But I've been in staffing, on the staffing side, about 25 years. And I was on the corporate side before that. So it's been a long time. And I do temporary, permanent, and temp to perm staffing for all industries. So people always get confused about that, but I'm really a one-stop shop for companies for all their hiring. So companies need different things in different departments, and my philosophy is anyone could have certain skills that they need for the job, but there's more to it. There's the personality part of it. Are they gonna like the people in the company that they work with? Because that's half the battle. Are they going to be able to commute to the job? Are they going to be able to do the hours that the company needs them to do? The big picture is what I always look at. So whether you need someone in your accounting department, in your sales department, whatever department it is, I am able to find you the right fit.
That's great, because one of the problems that we run into too in hire people is that exactly that. If I'm using a recruiter of some sort, whatever, they hire for the job, but not the culture of the company. I need somebody that's going to be a team player within my company.
Right.
And personality is so important, because we don't want somebody that's going to be not a good culture fit. How do you address that?
How do I address that?
Yeah, like you want to make sure that they're a good culture fit for the company. I'm assuming you'd interview me about what I'm looking for.
I just had that with a client. They told me certain things they're looking for in their next employee that they wanted different from the employee that was leaving. If you're in the tri-state area, something like that, and I can get to you easily, or you can get to me easily, I meet everyone in person, everyone. So that's the biggest difference between me and everyone else, is that I sit down with you, go over everything with you. I get a feel for you, just to know, like, if you're a right fit for that client, because I get to know my clients also. On the flip side, I go see their offices, talk to them. Sometimes I meet them out, so I know them on a personal and professional level. And then I get to see the person, and I really get to talk to them. So in this instance, actually, I was like hand holding the candidate, because I wasn't sure she was a fit, and they liked her. And then after 3 conversations down the road, I finally was getting to the core of her personality and if she would be a fit. And at the end, it all worked out because she finally let her guard down. Sometimes on interviews, people just very they don't want to tell you everything. But with me, they seem to let their guard down more.
That's a good point, because during the interview process, I'm very limited what I could say. If I held an interview I did 30 years ago when I started my business. By the way, it's our 30th anniversary as well. It was on May 5th.
Congrats.
It's a long time in coming, but I'd probably be arrested today by asking the questions I would normally have asked back then. So it's very important. I think it's a great thing, because it's more personable. You're going to give me the true person that I'm looking for. You'll get a good understanding of the culture in my company. It's about helping first, selling later. It's always trying to work with the clients, and I need that personality, that type of person to work for me, that has that mindset.
Right. You spend just as much time at your job, if not more sometimes, than you do at home. So you don't want to I don't want to place someone who's going to wake up in the morning and say, I don't want to go to work. I want someone to wake up in the morning and say, I love my job. I can't wait to go. Maybe they can't wait to go home. Also, they're not miserable going to the job.
So give me an idea what the process would look like. I need help. I'm looking to hire an employee. How do I start?
I people contact me, and I set up an in-person interview. We do staff other companies that have offices outside this area. So if I need to, I can travel to, if there's a big hiring push for a company somewhere else, I can go there. But otherwise, we have to do Zoom. But majority of my interviews are in person.
Mm-hmm.
So they come in to me in person, and that right away we see how are they dressing for me,
Mm-hmm.
how do they present themselves, how do they speak, and I coach them right then and there, making sure they know this is how you dress for me, but that's not really how you should be dressed when you go to an interview. Sometimes they don't know, and sometimes they don't even have clothes. And I'm like, well, even go to a thrift store, buy a pair of slacks, buy a pair of flats,
Mm-hmm.
not sneakers. Can you take out your piercings? Can you cover tattoos? It's all different things these days. So they come in so we can coach them on how they present themselves sometimes. And then we look at their resume and we sit down and we go over their resume. And I would say like 98% of the time, we're asking them to change it to a certain way. And we're not going to just say change it. I don't believe in just say change it. I'm going to tell you why I
Mm-hmm.
think it should be changed. And if you want to change it and listen to why the reasoning behind it, be my guest. Change it and then resend it so we can submit it to a client for a job. A lot of people like, I can't do my own resume. I don't believe that. I think the best person to do the resume is themselves, because no one knows what they did at the job better than them. So we don't do the resumes for them, but we guide them and tell them how it should look. And if it's just messy and if it's like 10 pages, you got to cut it down. So that's everything that they get when they come in person. And
Gotcha.
then we talk about what they want to do. Some people are in the legal field and now they hate legal and they want to go into a different field. You don't know that just by a quick conversation. So I'm
Right.
not going to see someone that's a paralegal and then say, "Oh, I got another paralegal job for you," when they're thinking to themselves, "I don't want another paralegal job. I
Mm-hmm.
want to go into a different industry." So we really find out that information from people. Maybe someone has to pick up their kid at 6 o'clock, and this company, you have to stay 2 nights till 7. So that's not going to work. Or can you find childcare? Or you don't have childcare? Or would you have to drop your kid off in the morning? There's so many things that are important in people's lives that I want to understand. There are times, well, this person can't get to the office till 9 and the job requires them to be there at 8.
Yeah. So what do you find as far as like the age groups you tend to deal with? Is it a lot of like young kids coming out of school? I know we just I met you at the BOCES, where these kids were like going to be graduating soon and looking for jobs, and we gave them advice on that, especially with their digital presence. But like, what is your typical job seeker age-wise and stuff? Who's
It
using?
runs the gamut. We
Mm-hmm.
have retirees who want to come back and get maybe a part-time job. We sit with them and go over what they want to do. Sometimes I want to work 2 days, or I want to work 5 days, 4 hours a day, or there's all
Mm-hmm.
different ways people want to do it. So there's a lot of retirees that come in. Then we get the new college grads who we sit with and try and like pinpoint, like to see which way they're going to head in their career so we can
Mm-hmm.
help them start that way.
Gotcha.
Recently, we got a few new college grads opportunities and they seem to love it. At least
Mm-hmm.
get their foot in the door. It's the catch 22. No experience, you need experience, that kind of thing.
So
So,
from the employer's side, like from my end, would you be talking to me like, for example, I might need a service desk technician, and I want a very personable person there because they on my front line. They're so important to me. They're my
right,
rocks, my remote operations centers, and literally they're rocks. They're the first person that our clients see, and they are the smile at the other end of the phone when disaster is hitting for that client. I need that type of person, personality wise, and that's all I know is that's what I need.
right.
What do you do after that? I tell you what I need and so on. Or is there other questions you're going to ask me?
Well, right. I always want to ask you about your business. How many people are in your office? How many people you maybe work in the field? Who else, who are they reporting to? What are their duties? Do you need detail oriented? Do you need someone that's going to sit quietly? It's all different things that, and I just will understand a lot of it just from talking to you. Maybe I'd say, oh, I want to come to your office and see it and just meet the rest of the people that work there.
Gotcha.
We actually see each other out at networking events. So I get a feeling of, I see you, I see who works with you. So I understand what kind of person would be a fit for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, like Sam was one of the best hires I had. She's my marketing person that we meet. I hired her out of a supermarket pretty much. She told me she was graduating marketing degree. I said, can you start on Monday? Because her personality was like, she brightens up any day.
Right. So I've had bartenders. I've sat at the bar and I was like, oh, what else do you do besides bartend? Actually, that just happened to me the other day. The waitress was just graduated college, brand new. And I gave her my card right away. I'm like, what are you thinking of doing? What do you know?
That's
So
great. You're
gave
a
her my
very
card.
approachable person, though. I got to say, you're the kind of person I would want to go up and talk to. So I see that's how you probably generated a lot of these job seekers is just by meeting them. Like I said, a waitress in a restaurant. That's
Right.
amazing.
Right. She's personable. So, like maybe someone like you, when you say you need someone for your front line, oh, well, I have met this waitress. She doesn't have experience. And you're saying, well, I'm willing to train her. She's got that personality that I want.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
also the issue. Like what are companies willing to train versus what they want someone to have?
Exactly. What I look for is a infectious learner. I want somebody that learns. I want somebody that has confidence in themselves, that is willing to take on tasks. And so when I put people out there, that's in the culture of our company is pretty much, we're looking for self-motivators and so on, and being a good fit for our company. So yeah, I love what you're doing because it's exactly, you're the type of person I'd want to come to find a culture fit, find somebody that would fit within our culture, because you're going to sit around and look at my employees and see, hey, this is the kind of environment this is. And I have somebody, even if it's a waitress. You know why? Because if they're a lifelong learner and they want, it's not about really as much what they know is as much as what they are willing to learn.
Right. So
It's great.
and it really pays for companies to have me as a resource because I'm 24/7. I'm looking at people and talking to people and seeing what people are out there, what jobs they want to do. So if I staff you and I find someone that's a great fit for your company, you may not need someone at that moment,
Right.
but I'm going to call you, pick up the phone and say, hey, this person really is a great fit for you. What do you think? Do you want to talk to them? What's going on your end? Even if I don't have a job from that company right now, but I'm always great to like just run things off of with their employees.
You know what's great about that too is that because I may not need somebody today, but I actually hired somebody for one of my clients. My client was looking for a service desk person to handle a school. And I said, you know what? I just ran into somebody that I think would be perfect for you. And they hired them.
So you're doing my job, in other words.
Well, the thing is, though, you can't, yes, I cannot replace you. But I'm just saying is that because of that, if you came to me and made a call and told me you had somebody, I'd call you back and say, you know what, Jolie, we don't need that person right now, but John needs it at this company.
Right.
Give them a call because it's all about networking. Like you said, we meet at networking events all the time. It's about, because you never know who you might meet, and I talk to everyone.
Right. And on the flip side, a lot of people, I don't know, they have some sort of negative connotation of staffing companies, but we don't charge the job seeker. So anyone looking for a job, it's in their best interest to come talk to us and other staffing companies too, because we have exclusive jobs. We have companies that don't advertise their jobs anywhere. They just use us. So how do you get into a company like that? You get in just by coming to us. Now, I know other staffing companies must have the same deals with other companies that they just use them. So really, for anyone looking for a job, it pays to go to staffing companies and also be looking on your own, because there are companies that don't use staffing companies. So it's a lot of work, but we help you with that work.
And as a company, I can tell you right off the bat is that the investment we make as a company on a new hire we want to make sure that person stays, because it can cost us $30,000 up front, let's say, to hire that person. Then I think the national is like $110,000. If it's a bad hire, I'm at that money. So it's important that I have and get and garner a good person to begin with that is a good match, because of the investment as a company we're going to be putting into it.
Right.
That person.
Well, that's why I like, for certain jobs, I like to push the temp to perm, because if you're not sure about that person, they're not on your payroll. So you're not investing as much money. The company is not investing as much as they would if they just hired them permanent straight away. They still have like a little cushion. Like, I can help Matt. If they come in not dressed the right way, they don't want to talk to them about it, I can talk to them about it.
Right. Okay. So we'd basically go through you. I'd be paying, the company would pay you for that person.
The employee,
You
and
pay the employee.
pays.
So it's like a
Right.
contract to hire. I like that,
Right.
because that gives me a runway to
Right.
see if that person is a really good match without any kind of ramifications. If I decide that it's not a good match, I'd have a conversation with you, tell you why. And if you could fix it, great. If not,
Right.
you can put somebody else in place.
Right. There's people that have a lateness problem, and if that's right in the beginning, you want to nip that in the butt, and I can help with that. So,
I love it. Well, listen, this has been great. I love talking to you about this, and I'm sure I'm going to be seeing you at other events. And I've already been referring you out, by the way,
okay.
which is the way this all works. Because even though I may not have a need today, I have clients and even prospects that call me up.
Right.
So again, I want to thank you for your time and the great work you're doing. And the information is on your website.
Anyone could email me at jolie@jobsbyjolie.com, and I always get back to you almost time the same day.
Thank you so much for this. And any questions, here's our information, contact information, and so on. But definitely reach out. I appreciate your time, Jolie.
Thank you.